Odie Sports Info here, back with another vid for you guys. Yeah, y'all, hit that subscribe, like, bell icon so y'all can be notified of this real, because y'all know Odie keeps it real. Yeah, you guys, so let's get into this video, right? And first of all, Earl Spence Jr., he sent out a tweet, this morning. And, I want to get you guys' opinion on it. Like, what does he mean? I mean, does he mean It's is he over the PBC? Is he about to leave the PBC? Let's share it. Let's share it. Right? Because it got Earl Spence Jr. always come with these cryptic messages, right? And he said PBC need to take the L out of lover. So if you take the L out, over, right? So it's over for him at the PBC. Then somebody, like one of his fans, they posted this. They said, I believe he's referring to this. And it has Keith Thurman saying, does he deserve a shot at Spence Ugas winner? Right? So is Earl Spence Jr. about to leave the PBC? So is Earl Spence Jr. about to leave the PBC? And if he is going to leave the PBC, how is all these fanboys going to... Oh, y'all got to understand. Man, these guys been, they've been capping for the PBC for fucking 6 years, right? Now, Earl Spence Jr. comes out and he says the PBC need to take the L out of lover. And if you take the L out, that's over. So the PBC is done? This is what Earl Spence Jr. is telling us? They're done? They're over? It's a wrap? Right? We already know that Tank, he about to, he trying to make some moves to get up out of there, right? So is it over? Shout out to 913 Boxer. What's up, bro? So is it over? Like, because we all know that Earl Spence Jr., he liked these cryptic messages. Shout out to Schools of Skills, man. What up, brother? Right? We know that Earl Spence Jr., he like all these cryptic messages, right? He just don't like to come straight direct, and just give it to you raw. Right? So what does this mean? And if he does leave, how can these fanboys, right? These fanboys who've been capping this whole time for the PBC, right? What are they going to do now? All these big ass boxing channels that been capping for the PBC, saying that everybody need to go to the PBC, right? They're saying that everybody need to sign to the PBC. And Earl Spence Jr. is saying it's over. Shout out to Daddy Left. What's up with you, brother? And Earl Spence Jr. is saying it's over. Right? So what? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Like, so I'm trying to understand this. Tank leaving, right? They don't got their Fox contract no more. That's obvious, right? Because everything is on Showtime. They don't got the Fox contract no more, right? They don't have it, because if they had it, Earl Spence Jr. versus Ugas would be on Fox pay-per-view, and that's a fact. So they don't have that contract no more. Earl Spence Jr. is sending out these cryptic tweets, right? Tank Davis, he's going off, right? Adrian Broner said, what, like a month or two ago, that, you know, he was going off. Come on. Keith Thurman can't even make $1 million when he come back. Come on, y'all. They don't have no schedule on Fox. And I've been telling y'all that the PBC is dying. And the thing about it, Al Heyman don't give a fuck. You know why? Because he's on the hook for money. And if it go belly up, he doesn't have to pay that money. Right? He can get up out of there. He can weasel his way up out of there. This is just how business works. Right? So Al Heyman could be driving the PBC. I mean, shit, he could just be driving it to the dirt by himself, you know? Him and Floyd. Something is going, hey, like the writing is on the wall, y'all. Plus, this Ugas versus, you know, Earl Spence Jr. fight is not going to sell out, because you could go and look at Ticketmaster, StubHub, wherever you want to go and look for tickets. Vivid Seats, they are available everywhere. Right? They are available everywhere, but it's supposed to have all these Earl Spence Jr. fans. Right? Thought they show up and show out. Let's share some of the ticket sales, right? Let's stop this screen. Man, because I'm trying to understand this, and he better sell, right? He better sell over because they said that Terrence Crawford, right? Because they kept messing with his number. At first it was 190,000, then it went down to what, 139, something like that thousand. Okay, if Earl Spence Jr. doesn't do, you know, 300, 400,000 pay-per-views, what are we talking about here? Right? What are we talking about here? If Earl Spence Jr. versus Ugas does what, 200,000 pay-per-views, what are we talking about here? It's a fucking 50-50 fight. Pay each man 50-50. You can give Earl Spence Jr. shit like 60-40 on a pay-per-view. Fuck it. Give him 60-40 on a pay-per-view, right? Because it's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. And that's where Earl Spence Jr. can get majority of more of his money, right? But all these excuses have to stop. Even though I already know, you know, that Al Heyman is not going to sacrifice Texas for nothing at this point, right? You see it's dying, right? You see that it's dying. You see, y'all can see the writing on the wall. The PBC is literally dying in front of our eyes. And they started off so good. They started off so good. But this is what happens when you run a company poorly, right? See, now everybody be talking about Bob Arum and, you know, and shit, and everybody else, but they company's still around and they still making big business and big moves. As far as the PBC, it's looking like they're about to go belly up within, what, 7-8 years. But that's not bad business. Of course that's bad business. Nobody getting paid how they was getting paid, right? And who's still in the shadows? Who still haven't been held accountable, right? Who still dodges accountability? Al Heyman. Come on, man. This guy, man, but Al, you know, like, he's very intelligent. Hey, I got to give him really that. Like I be going in on him, but that man is intelligent. You stay out the way of the cameras and all that, and you can dodge accountability. You can dodge it. Even though behind the scenes you making all this shit happen. You making everything happen. But when it come down to blaming somebody, shit, like you dodge all that. It's not you. It's not your fault. Come on, y'all. Like this shit is sad. But yeah, but let me go. Hold on real fast. Let me get to the ticket sales. StubHub.com. Let me go back to the stream. Now, let's share it. Well, I mean, because this fight is not going to sell out, right? Like I noticed, y'all don't even hear people really talking about the fight, right? Nobody is. It's the Sean Porter versus Terrence Bud Crawford had way more buzz than this fight, and that's a fact, right? Way more buzz. Everybody was anticipating that fight. Right, but look how low the tickets, they start from $48, and they go on up. You could click, like wherever you click at. It's still tickets, wherever you click. Right, like wherever you click at, man, it's still tickets. It's still tickets all over this place. It's still tickets all over this place, man. And it's crazy. Man, but I thought he was the big fish. You feel what I'm saying? I thought he was the big fish, man. I thought he was this big old, guy. Tickets go from $47 to $1,200 on StubHub. Man, but I thought Earl Spence Jr. was this big old dude, man, but his tickets everywhere. Everywhere. All the stuff in purple is tickets. All the stuff in purple is tickets, people. Tickets you can purchase all around the stadium. All around the stadium. That's how you know that this is sad. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, and nobody, like they try to make, I don't know why they try to make these guys seem bigger than what they are. Just to dodge a fight, right? Just give us Earl Spence Jr. is not this big ass, huge ass star, right? Because if this was Canelo, right? Because I go in on Canelo, but if this was Canelo, all this shit would be sold out. We know it. I didn't seen it before. All of it would be sold out if it was Canelo. All of it. Because I have witnessed it. But when it comes down to the big fish, right, it's only 4 days to the fight. Look at all these damn seats. Look at all them seats, people. Y'all seen all them seats, right? Well, the sad thing is that the PBC goes under. Those fighters are going to have to fight some tough fights. Bob and Annie ain't have exactly 913 boxer. And what happens to the PBC fighters every time they go outside the PBC and fight somebody else? They get their ass whooped. Now, the PBC stable is over 200 fighters. Right? The PBC stable is over 200 fighters. So just imagine them going belly up. And all these fighters are scattered around, right? Looking for homes. You feel what I'm saying? Most of them going to have to retire because they ain't going to get no deals or nothing like that. Nobody going to look at them serious, right? Because they haven't been on TV. They haven't got no following or nothing like that. The Earl Spences, the Tank Davises, the Wilders, the Dannys and the Thurmans, yeah, they'll get somewhere. But at the same time, they're going to get put in there with good competition. This is what everybody be trying to say. Oh, Terrence Crawford has fought good competition. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. All the people, all the mandatories he fought, they fought to get that fucking mandatory. They fought to get that mandatory. They just wasn't placed there. No, they fought to get the mandatory, and they was, right, they earned that spot to take on him. So they wasn't no soft touches. It don't matter what, the PBC fanboys and the Earl Spence Jr. fanboys, talk about. They was not no easy touches. Because they had to fight through the ranks to get there. You feel what I'm saying? And you can go by the names. Like everybody, they keep on shitting on Gamboa. Oh, Gamboa. Why is people still using Gamboa then? If Gamboa wasn't that good, why the fuck is he still fighting? Right? Why is he taking on Isaac Cruz now? If Gamboa wasn't that good, why did he take on Devin, Tank, now Isaac Cruz? If he wasn't that good, right? Just like Victor Postal. If Victor Postal wasn't that good, why did he take on Taylor? He didn't took on all the young studs over there at 140. But he wasn't that good. This be the narrative that, that fanboys, they fall into. But let's go back to the tweet, because I want people, since I got more people in the building, what does Earl Spence Jr. mean? You feel what I'm saying? What does he mean by this? I just want to know, right? PBC need to take the L out of Lover. If you take the L out, over. So what the hell does he mean by that? It's over? The PBC done? The writing is on the wall, right? What boxing fans like me been telling y'all for about a year now? Right? Hey, the PBC, I don't know what they doing, but they putting on too many pay-per-views, bullshit ass pay-per-views. And it seemed like that they trying to save something, and it doesn't seem that they getting this contract renewed with Fox. And they holding on to Showtime. And they really don't got no stars. See, they keep on saying that the PBC didn't build stars. Who? Who is this magnificent star at the PBC? Because it damn sure ain't Earl Spence Jr., because I just showed y'all the stadium. It damn sure is not Earl Spence Jr. The stadium is full of tickets. Full of tickets, and y'all got to understand that, damn shit, I forgot the owner. I forgot the owner of the stadium. But Jerry Jones. Yeah. Jerry Jones bought majority of the tickets, right, to sell them. Because this is what he always does at the Earl Spence Jr. events. And if it's still tickets available, damn, that means that he couldn't even get them off. This fight doesn't have that much, intrigue behind it, because everybody want the fucking fight that we want. All they got to do is give us the fight that we want. But Al Heyman, he can't do that. He's trying to bleed He's trying to bleed the Texas market. And if I was Texas, if I was in Texas, I'd be pissed off. Like, what are you? Oh, okay, so you think we stupid out here, Al? You trying to bleed our pockets? Give us, mediocre fights because we fanboy for Earl Spence Jr.? Right? Because we not thinking logical. You got us in an emotional state, so we thinking blindly, and you just giving us bullshit fights, and we just willing to pay for this shit. Right? Ocampo, Lamont Peterson, Mikey. Right? Now we just willing just to, like we out of our minds. Oh man, if we can't see straight, man, but Earl Spence Jr., he the best, he the best, he the best. But y'all not even really looking at the bigger picture that Al Heyman is looking at y'all as dumb. Yes, Al Heyman is looking at the Texas boxing fans as dumb. Yes, we got to call a spade a spade. And he's looking at he's looking at the Texas market as I'm about to bleed them dry. Come on. School of skills, like PBC Spence overcooked the Crawford fight. They should have fought 2-3. Exactly, bro. And they would have got an extended deal with Fox. The PBC would be doing good if they would have just give us the fights that we want. AJ versus Wilder, right? Shit, Crawford versus Spence, Tank versus Lomachenko, right? Tank versus Mikey. Just shit, Tank versus Devin, right? Jamal Charlo versus Benavidez. Come on. Jamal Charlo versus Caleb Plant. Just give us something something. But no, they want to bullshit around and they killing their own company. Killing their own company. Sabotage within. They sabotaging themselves. That's why I say it seems like Al Heyman want this shit to happen. Because it's self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage, you guys. Texas been on that diehard fan shit for years. Look, exactly. You got it, 913. You can't say nothing about the Cowboys. Man, because I got Cowboy fans, in my family, and they like Raider fans. Raider fans, Cowboy fans. It got Pittsburgh Steeler fans. It got some diehard fans out here that's willing to really hurt you. I mean, for talking about the 18. You feel what I'm saying? Like these people will get physical. Literally physical, and try to really hurt you for talking about somebody that they'll never meet in their life. For talking about somebody that they will never meet in their entire life. But they willing to hurt you for that person. Come on, man. But yeah, no, that's what he doing though. He didn't got them trained now, right? He got these people trained because it's obvious now. Man, he's taking advantage of the Texas market. Jamal Charlo, right? Earl Spence Jr. Right? Like he trying to run them three. He's trying to run them three in Texas. But he's willing to sacrifice. This is what people don't understand. He's willing to sacrifice Jermell. Yes, he's willing to sacrifice Jermell for Earl Spence Jr. He's willing to sacrifice Jermell for Earl Spence Jr. Because who fan base is bigger? Earl Spence Jr. Right? Period, point blank. Who has a greater upside? Earl Spence Jr. So if Earl Spence Jr. moves up to 154, and we already heard about the little sparring stuff, right, with them. We heard that Earl Spence Jr. had put hands on him and all that. So He's willing to sacrifice Jamel. But Jamel, he doesn't have that same energy towards Earl Spence Jr. Right? But you hear Earl, oh yeah, man, like if I move up, man, like I'm not gonna let nothing stop me. You know what I mean? Why? Because he already got the word from Al. He already know. He already got the game plan. This is why I tell y'all to pay attention to what these promoters be doing, what Al be doing especially. Right? Because Al is very intelligent. He's a very intelligent dude, though. You can tell he plays chess. You can tell he plays chess. Yeah, yeah, you can really tell. And he moves, he be like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of you. Like you have to catch up. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, Al is good. And I won't be surprised if he got something else up his sleeve, right? I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, shit. I wouldn't be surprised, man. The guy is intelligent. I go in on him because I could catch on to his shit. You feel what I'm saying? I be like, bro, like he moving. He been doing it for so long, the same shit. So it's like, okay, he been doing the same patterns with different fighters, though. Same pattern with different fighters. And you could tell that this fight is not doing that good. Why you could tell? Because they trying to bring up the Earl Spence Jr. versus Floyd Mayweather sparring session. What? Just to gain some interest in this fight, they bring up something that is almost a decade old. Right? Because I think that happened in 2013? So they bringing up something that happened 9 years ago just to try to build some interest in this fight. That's everything you need to know. That's everything you need to know. This fight is doing horrible. The fight is doing horrible, you guys. And don't be surprised if they try to inflate, the numbers, and you feel what I'm saying? Like try to make Earl Spence Jr. seem like this, because we already know Manny Pacquiao, who's a bigger star than Earl Spence Jr., when he fought Ugas Ugas, it only sold 200,000. Right? It only sold 200,000, if that. Right? Because that's probably an inflated number by the PBC. Because remember, Pacquiao had his last fight on the PBC. So I think this fight should do between now you guys put y'all predictions in the chat. Put y'all predictions in the chat. I say this fight do between 140,000 to 200,000 buys. Pay-per-view buys. 140 to 200,000 pay-per-view buys. That's my prediction. What's you guys' prediction? From 140 to 200. That's mine. From 140 to 200. Put y'all's in the chat. Oh, 200K? Now Schools of Skills say 200K? Yep. Yeah, now that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking up in that area. 140 to 200. 140 to 200. Now, if that happens, what are we talking about here? Get these men 50-50, put them in the ring. You feel what I'm saying? But I just keep on going back to that when I really know that the fight ain't going to happen next, right? I already know the fight isn't going to happen next. I know it ain't going to happen. Okay, but 913, you say 170K? Oh, 913, you say 170K. Okay, then we got 200K, 170K. I got 140 to 200. So, I gotta, I got a large range to hit. You feel what I'm saying? So, hey, man, but I don't think it's gonna do over 200 though. I really don't think it's gonna do over 200. And if it does do over 200, I can't. We really got to question that, right? We really got to question, is that number real or not? Right, because I remember that Bob Arum said that the Earl Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter fight only did 190,000. Right? But when Bob Arum said it, oh man, Bob Arum is lying. He's lying. Bob Arum is lying. But as soon as he said, oh yeah, man, like I'm losing millions of dollars on Terrence Bud Crawford. And, oh man, you heard Bob Arum? Man, these people are, you just be like, bro. But what did Bud Porter do? The first number that was reported 913 was 190,000. Then the second number was 139,000. Yeah, I'm 140, 139,000. So that's why I said between 140 to 200,000, right? I'm giving it, within that number. So you got 170. Schools of Skills got 200. I know it's more people in the chat. They just ain't putting the number up. But yeah, you guys. So y'all just hit that like button, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Man, I got to go on, I'm about to go and feed my baby girl. So you guys have a great afternoon, man. I will try to do another live in a few, probably a few hours or something like that. Wait, hold on. Let me see what you say. Why do you think the tickets aren't selling? We days away from the fight. Bro, the tickets ain't selling because the fight is not interesting. Despite what these channels be telling you, these big boxing channels be telling you, the fight is not, because people, they already know what's going to happen in the fight. Okay, but D-Lucky, salute, brother. Salute to you, brother. Yeah, man, but people, they really already know what's going to happen in the fight. How many knockouts does Yordenis Ugas have? 12. He has 12 knockouts. So he's not the biggest puncher. If Spence, what you say? Do beat blood number. I don't want to hear that. Yeah, hey. If he beat his numbers, he just beat him. I know, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, it's yeah. Man, but if he beat him 913, he just beat him. You feel what I'm saying? But what's the I mean, what it won't be a big difference. I can see if he was selling 500,000. I mean, you feel what I'm saying? I could see if he was doing Canelo numbers. Man, and then we could talk about 60-40s and all that. But if you in the same range, bro, I don't want to hear that. Get in the ring and fight. Man, and y'all both get paid. Right now, you can get 60-40 on the damn pay-per-view split. Man, you can get more money that way because it's going to do good pay-per-view numbers. And you get your bag that way. Man, but as far as the guarantees and all that, they should get the same guarantee. Period. They should. Yeah, but no, but what you say? Oh yeah, man. But why the tickets ain't selling, bro? Because everybody already know the writing on the wall. Yordenis Ugas only has 12 knockouts. 12. Right? 12 knockouts, bro. Earl Spence Jr. is a come forward, walk you down dude, right? Yordenis Ugas loves to go in the high guard, which is a dangerous thing against Earl Spence Jr. Very dangerous. Right? We already know that there's no testing going on. Nobody care about no testing. Right? As far as Mauricio Suleiman said, he said, yeah, they get drug tested after the fight. But as far as random drug testing, that's up to the promoter. The promoter got to pay for all the random drug testing, or the fighters got to pay for random drug testing. And they not paying for none of that shit. Man, so we need to just, like from this day forward, we need to just stop talking about PEDs. Right? We just need to just leave the PED situation alone. Hey, I'm willing to leave it alone if other people are willing to leave it alone. Right? Because at this point, people don't have the same energy. Like I heard in the video today, oh man, like Canelo, he took random drug testing, but you still not stating the fact that they raised up the levels of clenbuterol. State the facts. The fact is they raised up the level so he can use it. So the level that he got caught on is acceptable now. Because they raised the levels. That's common sense. Right? Man, but when you're trying to push a narrative and you're fanboying, you try to justify anything. It's like, no. Yeah, man, looking for Dory, he didn't get drug tested, him or Lubin, bro. Yeah, they got drug tested after the fight, but random drug testing before the fight? No, the PBC doesn't do that. Y'all heard Jermell Charlo, Castano didn't do it. Jermell Charlo, he probably was trying to get in it, but that was up to Al Heyman, and Al he doesn't want to pay for it. Yeah, he'll pay for after the fight drug testing. But random drug testing, man, like they just show up and take blood. No, he's not paying for that. That costs too much money. Al is cheap. He trying to keep money. Shit, you see that he did. Al be giving these dudes 1.5 guarantees, man. He not. Al not trying to give out no money like that. You feel what I'm saying? Al is not trying to do it, man. Shit, I'm just keeping it a buck. Okay, what'd he say? Damn, why my shit moving so slow? There was no testing for, yeah. There was no testing for that fight, bro. No testing for that fight. And you see how Lubin face came out? All broke up. Probably, man, he'll never be the same fighter again. Never be the same fighter again. Ruined his career. Ruined his career. Exactly. Exactly, School Skills. Man, his gloves could have been loaded. Man, but anything could have happened. You feel what I'm saying? But they don't, they don't care. It's selective energy. It's selective energy. But if that would have happened to one of their favorite fighters, you would see the outrage, right? You will hear the outrage. You will see all these channels. You will, like certain media just be given, like you will see a lot of outrage, but you don't see that same outrage because it's not their favorite fighter and they don't care. They wanted Fundora to win by any means necessary, just like they want Earl Spence Jr. to win by any means necessary. And I keep on telling y'all that. They need this man to get a knockout. They need him to have a highlight, something. This dude ain't haven't had, like Earl Spence Jr. haven't had a highlight since Sean Porter. And that was a little, a split-second knockdown that his glove just touched the ground. That's his claim to fame in the last, 2.5 years. Oh, okay, now he still had his gloves on when he was interviewing. See, like, I really didn't even look at the fight, I just seen Lubin face after the fight, and I said something going on. You feel what I'm saying? I just said something going on. You feel me? Hey, I don't know what was going on, but something going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if his gloves are loaded. I don't know what was happening in that fight, but I mean, like 2 + 2 is 4. You feel what I'm saying? Like, have Fundora ever did that to anybody else? I don't think so. You feel what I'm saying? But shit, I can see if he was going around breaking faces and doing all that stuff. But if he haven't did it to nobody else, and I haven't heard of him doing it to nobody else, I mean, come on, something is funny. Let's see what you say, 913. But these channels are just sticking with the lie at this point. Some of this shit, you just have to know. Exactly, bro. Like, you got to just have common sense. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Man, like the cult members, LDBC, man, they gonna always push their narrative because they get paid off the narrative. They don't want the fight to happen, and I keep on trying to let y'all tell y'all that, they don't want these fights to happen because if the fight happening, they can't talk about the fight. They can't get paid off of it. They can't push a narrative off of it. If the fight happened, right? You feel what I'm saying? That's their whole. What the hell is going on? My shit. Oh no, that's their whole goal. That's their whole, their whole thing. What the hell is going on, man? This shit is lagging. That's their whole goal, though, bro. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's just to push narratives. Man, you try to take the gloves off. He kept them on, even in the interview after the fight. Yeah, of course, man. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Man, but why didn't the referee take off his gloves? Right? Because the referee usually go for your gloves. Right? The referee usually go for your gloves and take off your gloves. So the referee had to be in on it too. Come on, like everybody is in on this type of stuff, man. But everybody get their pockets greased. Right? Man, and when you're trying to build up somebody, you don't care who you destroy. Man, who had a bigger upside, Lubin or Fundora? Come on, man. Now we got to look at that. Who got the bigger upside? Right? Who they can make more money off of? Lubin or Fundora? And it's obvious that they can make more money off Fundora. Yeah, man. Like, it's a hustle, bro. Of course. It's obvious that they can make more money off him. So this is what they do. That's why I had told y'all that they don't mind sacrificing Jermell Charlo for Earl Spence Jr. They don't mind sacrificing him. Right? They don't mind. At all. They will sacrifice the hell out of Jermell Charlo. Right? But Moore was the ref. Okay, now you talking about the one who had the count at his own discretion? Yeah, man. Look, and then you got to think about it. Who the referees they put in there? Who did they put in the fight? Right? Right now, who referee in the fight? Come on, man. Like they put like when they want to protect a certain guy, they put a certain referee in there. Right? When they don't want to protect, something like that, when they want some foul play or dirty stuff to go on, they put like they'll put another one in there. Him. Yeah, though, bro. But y'all got to understand, man, that boxing gonna always be a crooked ass sport, whatever. It's gonna always be crooked. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I don't know why the hell I keep on lagging. Man, but boxing is gonna always be a crooked sport, you guys. Like like it probably never shape up to be a good sport. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because it's always people trying to scheme and and plot and do what they got to do up in this sport, whatever. So so it is what it is, man. But I don't know what the hell is going on with my stream. All of a sudden it's tripping. Yeah, you guys. But since the stream is tripping, and I was supposed to get off about 5-10 minutes ago, but let me go ahead and feed my baby girl, and I'll highlight y'all a little later on. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that like, so I can get in the algorithm like everybody else. And I'll be back a little later on. I'm gone.